Here we go. Here's the JMO sighting. This middle crossing pattern, Goff stepping up into the throw. Perfection, and see you later. Almost at half speed and pulls the Marshawn. Detroit had it all working against Jacksonville. Unbelievable. The Detroit Lions put on perhaps their best offensive performance in the franchise's history in Week 11. They completely dominated the Jacksonville Jaguars 52-6, setting single-game franchise records for total yards, first downs, and margin of victory. Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Johnny Gaz. Thank you for returning for another video. This magical season for the Lions continues as they move to 9-1, their best start since 1934. Let's look at the highlights from this matchup against the Jaguars and this 52-point offensive explosion. And let's hand out some grades and all of the A's for this game here in Week 11. Let's go. Before we get back to the greatest show on Turf 2.0, make sure to like the video if you dig the vibe here at Johnny Gaz Sports. I'd love it if you consider subscribing to the channel. We're now on the road to 3,000, thanks to you guys. And if you hit the notify bell, you won't miss any future videos. There's a membership option available. That's where I do all my live game play-by-play reactions, tier list, a ton of other fun stuff, but there is always free content here for you all the time. Comment down below. You have to let me know, is this the best Lions team we have ever seen? It certainly is in my history. Comment down below. I love talking Lions football with you guys. It's so much fun. Let's get into this highlights package and hand out some grades. And like we've been doing over the past several weeks, we'll get into the highlights and I will hand out grades for the offense, defense, special teams, and coaching for this complete domination of Jacksonville here in Week 11. Let's dive into these highlights. Here we go, Lions and Jags, Week 11. What a fun game to watch. Lions just continuing their offensive explosion. And let's not overshadow what the defense does in this matchup. They only give up 6 points here to the Jaguars. And honestly, this first possession is really the only time you felt like the game was ever in jeopardy. And honestly, it's the first couple of minutes of the game, and at that point, the Lions just run away with it, and you will see it in these highlights. So let's open it up with the defensive grades here for the Lions. Let's start with the defensive line. We had the first debut for Zadarius Smith. There he is, 99 on the field for us there. Didn't have a ton on the stat sheet, but did get credited for a half a sack along with Jack Campbell. So it is good to see. He did create some pressures. Overall, I give the defensive line a B+ for this matchup. You see the Jags open it up 3-0 here with the long field goal on their first possession. Lions then take the ball and really don't look back, and we'll talk about the offense here in a minute. Let's stick with the defense. Defensive line, I gave them a B+. They did have the one sack. They really didn't allow much to Jacksonville as far as the rushing attack. They only gave up 17 rushes for 41 yards. That's only a 2.4-yard average. So again, let's not overshadow this defensive performance of all the offense we're going to see in these highlights. Obviously, the Lions open it up heavy with David Montgomery. That's kind of their thing, is splitting time between Montgomery and Gibbs, splitting possessions, and that's really been the routine here for the Lions with Montgomery early, and he caps it with the first touchdown of the game here for the Lions, making it 7-3 midway through the first quarter. And, of course, we get the Pee Wee Herman celebration. A ton of sellies here that we'll see in this highlight package. Let's go back to the defense, the linebackers, and we know they lost Alex Anzalone midway through the second quarter here. He does have a broken forearm and is expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks. However, they do expect him back for the playoff run. So I think with Jack Campbell now sort of taking over the role of the captain and the defensive leader, I think he's ready to step in. And the Lions have shown they really haven't missed a beat as far as their depth. And the linebacking position has shown that 100 times over. Guys like Malcolm Rodriguez, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, just incredible. So the linebackers, I gave them a grade of A. Again, they contributed with a sack. Jack Campbell had a fantastic game himself with 9 tackles. And again, their depth in that position is just huge and will have to continue to be so to make up for the Anzalone injury here. Getting into the offense, and you're just seeing this kind of the play-action game playing off of them establishing the running game early. Obviously, David Montgomery with the early touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs then getting involved. It's good to see Jameson Williams, again, continuing to be involved in this offense very heavily. He had the 2-game suspension. Well, he's really picked up and didn't miss a beat here in the last 2 games. Both running backs truly fantastic all day today. Finishing up the defense, again, the secondary, and we're going to see several plays here in this highlight package where they step up and make big-time hits. It was Jahmyr Gibbs' turn here, the second touchdown of the game for the Lions, second possession, second touchdown. Both running backs already with a score here on the day. Lions go up 14-3 here, early second quarter. But the secondary for the Lions defensively, I gave an A. I thought, Brian Thomas and Evan Ingram did make a few catches, had a decent showing here in the game, but outside of that, that was really it for the Jags. And again, I think their secondary has really improved. We've talked so much so about the revamped secondary, heading into this season, and would that be enough? And I really think it is. There's a great example right there from Amik Robertson coming up, supporting a screen pass. They support the run game. They tackle well. They've covered well. They are really turning themselves into one of the better secondary units in all the NFL. And let's, not even really have to talk about the two safeties. Kirby Joseph with an interception again today, his 7th of the season, and Brian Branch just all over the field making tackles. Just a field general there at strong safety. Again, I think the best safety duo tandem in the league. So again, overall the defense I thought was fantastic here. Only 6 points overall. I gave them a grade of A for this matchup here in Week 11 against the Jags. Lions just continue to churn yards here on the ground. Again, both running backs showed what they could do all over the field here in Week 11. And a lot of St. Brown. 11 catches total for St. Brown, 161 yards. That is his career high. Both him and Jamison Williams set career high for yardage through the air here in Week 11. David Montgomery, his second touchdown of the day. He had 2. Gibbs had 1. Those 2 were fantastic. So let's start talking about the offense. The running backs, certainly a grade of A. 218 total yards between Sonic and Knuckles. They had 3 TDs between the 2 of them. You'll see later in the game, both Reynolds and Sione Vaki got in the game. But again, these 2 guys, Sonic and Knuckles, best running back duo in the NFL. Everything stems off of that and the dominance of their offensive line. And that's really why they're able to run the ball so well. That offensive line was establishing 4 or 5 yards down the field every single play, giving those guys room to run, and that held true all day long. Great dump off to Gibbs here from Goff. Big-time yardage, and he was close to scoring again here if he doesn't get shoestringed. Lucky tackle there, to be honest with you, or Gibbs was gone. O-line, again, fantastic. I gave them an A. They did not give up any sacks, only 2 quarterback hits. And you see here the run game, the screen game, everything was dominant. Sonic and Knuckles himself averaged 5.5 yards per carry. That's unbelievable. Touchdown to Goff, or touchdown to St. Brown again. Goff to St. Brown, this connection is so efficient. Goff himself, right back to his efficient form, coming off of that uncharacteristic performance against Houston. 5 interceptions in this matchup here in Week 11 against the Jags. I thought he was perfect. 158.3 perfect passer rating, 24 of 29, 412 yards, 4 TDs. Jared Goff also contributed 21 rush yards. Now, it's only significant in the fact of it's the confidence that he has to step up, make a run if he has to, eat a play, not force a ball. I mean, he is playing such efficient football. In my opinion, has put himself back in the MVP discussion. I think he has to continue this for several weeks and through the remainder of the regular season to stay there because of the Week 5 performance, because of the low yardage performance against the Titans. He's got a lot of ground to make up, but I think a performance like this certainly puts him right back in the running. The Jags, again, were able to drive the field a little bit here and there, move the ball between the 20s, but really outside of that, the Lions defense clamped down. There was nothing to be had here outside of the 2 field goals that Jacksonville was able to get. And again, just really amazing to watch. And I really try to not take this for granted. This Lions team is doing incredible special things. Offensively, they're to the point where this team is putting up numbers in comparison to teams like the 07 Patriots, the 99 Rams, the greatest show on turf. It's incredible to think in those terms, but that's where this Lions team is. So you see here the second field goal here from Jacksonville's kicker. I think his name's Cam Little. He was good. He had the long field goal and then this one here, but that was the extent of their offense all day. So now at this point forward, it is the Lions show, and we'll continue our offensive grades. Here's the long touchdown we let in with J-Mo. And again, Jared Goff just making the right throws at the right times, finishing with the 4 touchdowns. So let's talk about the wide receivers, obviously, with this touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 11 for 61, 161, career high for him. J-Mo, the 4 catches for 124. Here's the touchdown that he had. That was his career high in yardage as well. So again, I give the wide receivers a grade of A. The tight ends, we were lacking Sam Laporta in this game because of the injury. But between Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra, and James Mitchell, I thought they held up well. They did well in the run block protection. So that certainly held up, but they weren't really flashy offensively. Brock Wright did have the touchdown early on in the game, but outside of that, there wasn't a ton of tight end production. So I gave them the grade of B+ for this Week 11. Just more St. Brown, just all day, doing anything he wanted, any pattern. And between Goff and him, 11 for 11 on the day, targets, catches. I think they've only now missed 2 targets over their last, I think, all season, to be honest with you, since week 2 or week 3, something like that. That's just incredible. Quick check down to Monty. Again, safe throws, effective throws, and then just hard work after that. And that's the theme of this Lions team. I mean, they come out and they want to punch you in the mouth. And if the other team across them isn't ready to play, well, this is what you get. You know, the Lions are not playing down to their competition. They are putting their foot down and running away with these things. And again, the offensive numbers are showing that. There's the Zylstra touchdown. I'm sorry, the Brock Wright touchdown right there. Found himself open in the back of the end zone. So again, tight ends were good. Again, the offensive line, grade of A. I thought they were truly fantastic. No sacks. Didn't allow much to get to Goff, and Goff is really fantastic on top of that. The running backs with an A, wide receivers with an A, and I thought Jared Goff was about as good as he can be in this Week 11 game. So he gets an A+ in my book. I don't know how you can get much better here in the NFL. Brian Thomas, he did some things. I thought he had 5 receptions in this game. He's kind of the only receiver that was really able to do anything. Him and Ingram, a couple catches here and there, but again, outside of that, just wasn't much. That's one of their better runs on the day, but again, Lions defense held up well. So overall, again, the offense, I'm giving them clearly a grade of A. 52 points, TDs on their first 7 possessions. Even their backups, their secondary team, their offense was able to put up a field goal and probably could have scored more points at the very end if they wanted to, but didn't. Kirby Joseph's interception there, that's his 7th on the season. Again, the offensive line, the run game, just dominant all day. Here's another big run from Gibbs. And they're just so efficient. It's almost hard to think about how you can stop this team. And it's funny, we said they didn't have Sam Laporte in this game. Well, they didn't miss him at all. And that's the scary part about this Lions offense. Again, more St. Brown just all day. First downs, touchdowns, anything he wanted. Again, that was a good hit. Took a nice hit there, but actually absorbed the blow. Detroit's just such a hard-hitting team. I mean, anytime you play the Lions, I mean, there's going to be injuries, there's going to be hard hits. I mean, that's their MO. They are a reflection of their head coach, Dan Campbell. There's the second score to St. Brown. Good throw from Goff there. Front corner of the end zone, just too easy for those two. And the route is on at this point. It's so much fun to watch, guys. I can't explain. I mean, it's easy to relay stats, but to put into words just all of the magic that you're seeing each week, it's incredible, and I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. Kendall Vildor getting in the game a little bit, replacing Carlton Davis, who was really good, but he's now got the thumb injury. He's wearing kind of the glove, you know, the cast there. There's Thomas again with the reception. Again, one of the better plays for Jacksonville in the second half here. But at this point, 49-6, Lions pure prevent, and the secondary players in the game. You see Hendon Hooker getting some time. Good run from Reynolds. Everything working. Even the backup's able to get some things going here and put up some points.
Came in at left tackle for Decker. You got Neeson at center for Ragnow.
3rd and 6. Popped up. Big hit there by Aluakin.
Aluakin was good. He was one of the only players kind of making plays in the secondary for the Jags. He led them in tackles. Jake Bates, 54 yards. Good again. I thought their special teams was good. There's that kick. He was 1 for 1, 7 for 7 on extra points. So I gave him an A. They didn't need the punter, Jack Fox, at all. So I'm not going to grade him. So to me, the special team certainly gets an A. Return game, either for us or against us, really didn't do anything in this game. It was really a non-factor. So again, I think the special teams were good. They get an A. And then the coaching staff for the Lions, I think to me, clearly gets an A. They were ready to play. They didn't allow themselves to play down to the competition. The offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, is just flying high right now. Him and Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator, it seems like they're just auditioning for head coaching jobs next year. I mean, in both sides of the football, they were fantastic. Both coordinators get an A for me. Offensive coordinator gets an A+. Overall coaching gets an A. This performance for the Lions was just so much fun. And it's incredible to see them stack these type of victories up, especially coming off of what was a tough victory there in Houston, where their offense was uncharacteristically not as good as they had been for the rest of the season. They now go to Indianapolis in Week 12 and will look to stack another win against an inferior opponent. The Lions close out the game. They'll end up capping this one 52-6. Really wasn't even a game outside of that first drive from Jacksonville. So much fun to watch, but the Lions are rolling. So many points, so much to talk about, but so much fun to go back and look at those highlights. What a game. Lions win 52-6. They improve to 9-1. They are top of the NFC Central and on top of the NFC playoff standings as the number 1 seed as we currently stand. Lions will travel to Indianapolis in Week 12, looking to get to double-digit wins against another inferior opponent and a tough quarterback situation there. Let's quickly go through the grades here that I had for Week 11, starting with the offense, and I think it's pretty easy. The offense clearly gets the grade of A. I thought Jared Goff was perfect. He had a perfect passer rating, 24 of 29, 412, and 4 scores. Just efficient and confident, everything you want in a quarterback, and to me, he's put himself back in the MVP discussion. The defense, again, overshadowed by a fantastic offensive performance, but they played great. Their secondary is turned themselves into one of the better units in all of football. The defense in general, I gave them a grade of A. Special teams, Jake Bates, another long field goal. All he really had to do was kick extra points all day. And again, the punter was not needed. Special teams gets a grade of A. All of that being said, offensively they were dominant. Defensively they were dominant. This team plays as if they were fighting for their head coach. The whole biting kneecap speech at the beginning of Dan Campbell's tenure with the Lions is exactly what the Lions organization has become. And as jokingly as it was said back then, it is so serious now. And this team is on a clear path towards a Super Bowl. It's so much fun to watch. It's really amazing. And again, I'm at a loss for words, but what I will tell you is just cherish it. Live in the moment, have fun each week. Again, things can turn so quickly. The Alex Anzalone injury is so tough to see, but the depth has shined through, and I think they'll be able to overcome that injury. You hope to get a few guys back over the next several weeks and as you get towards the end of the season. But ultimately, the Lions just need to continue to stack wins. We're getting closer to the Thanksgiving holiday game, and at that point, we are in a playoff push. So much fun ahead of us. Thank you guys for coming along. Make sure to slap the like button if you dig the vibe here at Johnny Gaz Sports. I'd love it if you consider subscribing if you haven't already. We're now on the road to 3,000. Thanks to you guys. And if you hit the notify bell, you won't miss any future videos. There's a membership option available. If you hit the little blue join button on any one of my videos, I'll walk you through how you can become a part of the family. Definitely make sure to comment down below. Is this the best Lions team you've ever seen? I want to hear from you guys. I don't know that I could search back in my timeline and find a better one. This offense is second to none right now. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for coming along for another video, but more than anything else, make sure to take care of yourself and that mental health. That is more important than anything. I want to make sure you come back and see me on future videos. Thanks again for all your time. Have a fantastic rest of your week. Go Lions.